Hi, welcome to another Scent Notes video. My name is Sean Mayer, as always. I haven't changed it. And I'm going to talk about another fragrance today. This one is for American Perfumer. It's called Benton Park. It's an eau de parfum, and it's seems something that you would seem simple based on what you would look at for the scent notes. There's only two listed: tuberose and vetiver. However, it's something that is really deceptively complex. It looks simple, but you can wear it simply and easily, but it's something that when you dig into there's a lot to find in there. I think it's something that's the second batch of it. We released it last year, and it kind of proved to be something that big perfume aficionados really enjoyed. People who enjoy the craft, who enjoy watching videos like this where I talk about how I made it, because there is so much technical interest that goes into it. But I also know people who don't care about any of that, just want something that smells great, and this is that as well. It's a little bit different because a lot of times with tuberose you're going to get a lot of that thick syrupy tuberose absolute. I forgot at the beginning. Benton Park. This is the bottle, the new bottle. You see we have new caps this year, and it's a little bit different. I mean, this is the thing with naturals too. Everyone's going to be a little bit different every year because we get new stuff. But it's the same thing you loved if you loved it before, if you tried a sample from American Perfumer during the year. But what the thing about Benton Park is first of all, like I started at the beginning, it's named after Benton Park, which is the neighborhood where I live in St. Louis. It was named after Thomas Hart Benton, who, say what you will about him as a person, probably not, someone I admire as a human being. But what was interesting is that as a painter, he, painted in a very traditional style. But however, one of his students was Jackson Pollock, who, as you obviously know, did not paint a traditional style whatsoever. And I think that's the fun thing about this fragrance is it started with talking with Dave from American Perfumer, because we are both huge Vetiver fans and we love talking about Vetiver perfumes. We send samples back and forth. It's something that, we really enjoy. Dave visited St. Louis a little while back and we smelled a bunch of them as well. And so it's just something we're really passionate about. As we were talking about that, we also started talking about tuberose as well, because I had been looking into a headspace analysis, which what it does, it takes the air, they use some crazy vacuum contraption, takes the air surrounding a plant, something, in just nature, with just the air surrounding it, so you get all the scent molecules. And so instead of like a tuberose absolute, where it would be just the inner matter of the plant, what's inside it, you harvest it and then you distill it and you get the absolute out of it. But what I did, I wanted to smell what tuberose actually smells like when you're smelling it. So I found a headspace analysis that was really interesting. It found that it seemed like a lot more kind of lemony aspects to it in the air and a lot mintier aspects in the air, which led to it smelling a lot more fresh than maybe the absolute, which is like thicker and, like I said, more syrupy. And they both, the headspace, the way it ended up, and also the absolute, they both do have that bubblegummy type, creaminess in the middle, but you're gonna get a lot more pronounced freshness and in the headspace, as well as methyl benzoate, which I feel like leads perfectly into the vetiver, because methyl benzoate and vetiver both have kind of a similar texture in my mind, especially something like a more earthy, like Haitian vetiver. So I think that was just a perfect pairing. That's why when we started talking about it, the wheels started turning, and I immediately made the first prototype, and we just played with it and went back and forth. Had a lot of fun making this. The tuberose headspace, however, I have a lot to kind of remind me here that, like I said, methyl benzoate is a big one. It's kind of minty a little bit. It's also, I guess I've heard that an element that the drug dogs use to find cocaine, but so maybe that is why this perfume is addicting. But I don't know. I was told that one time. I haven't found it on the internet or researched it or anything, because I just wanted it to be true. So if it's not, I apologize. But you're gonna also, in that headspace, I use like limonene, or limonene. I never heard it say it out loud, so I never know. Methylanthranilate, which is like a little bit more of something you'll find in orange blossom. It almost has like a grapey scent to it. So that's where you're gonna get some of that middle bubblegummy smell is from that, and then there's gonna be some creaminess from there in Like I also use like a bicyclonolactone, which is almost like a coumarin type material. So those kind of come together along with like benzyl alcohol, which you could find in like jasmine, things like that, in just smaller proportions, but just helps really round it out and base it. But the top and what you're gonna really smell when you first spray this, it's gonna be that lemony freshness and also methyl salicylate, which is kind of a wintergreen thing. It was huge in the headspace analysis. I actually dialed it back when I created it because it was just, but it still is big in this perfume. You're gonna get a big fresh blast. It's gonna smell like, you know, just when you go out in the morning on like a hot summer morning, it just smells so like hot and crisp, but it's vibrant. It's like radiating. You can feel the scents coming off things. And, you know, I think I love that scent. It's something that idea I used in Sun Soaked as well, but I love that smell. Also at the top is eucalyptol, which is obviously eucalyptus. You can probably figure out it's another material or another molecule found in the headspace. And so I used a blue eucalyptus, which I think really grounded the mintiness of the wintergreen smell, but added some towards the top. So it kind of helps it flow down the middle, and I'll get down to that bubblegummy type middle where you're gonna get on the tuberose. And I think the fun thing about the tuberose is it is such a complex material that there is top and middle all within this accord. So it is kind of an evolution through the flower scent as it goes. There's also gonna be a little bit more creaminess added with I did this just to kind of round it out to get some from this kind of like a coconutty and like a vanilla type materials that are going to be in there as well. Just the touches of them to really enhance that creaminess to help fill out the middle as well. And also to add to the fruitiness and also that you do get naturally from the tuberose. There's like a raspberry ketone, and then there also a jasmine lactone adds to that creaminess as well. It's kind of a material that is it doesn't smell that much like jasmine, but does have a jasmine type scent while also being like really kind of creamy. And you know, then also add that greenest leaf alcohol, which is naturally found in like grass and stems, and it's just everywhere. You're gonna find that material in nature, like so much and everything. Then we go down into the vetiver. Now this is where you're gonna. I think the fun thing about this perfume is the evolution is so things come together so well on it that it evolves, but there aren't any sharp contrasts as it evolves. You just kind of slowly, you don't really find stages. You feel like it's a very even slope the way it progresses down into the base. And when you kind of go and you're gonna get into that creaminess of the and the earthiness of the tuberose, it automatically goes in the vetiver. So what I did with the vetiver is I started with an Indian vetiver, which is woody and a lot more textured, I feel, and really stands out at the top and really helps bridge the gap between the methyl benzoate in the tuberose accord. You're also going to get a Haitian vetiver, which is more earthy, and I think it's just a really great vetiver. It's very, and I think it really goes well. Their two facets really blend together. And finally, there's a double distilled vetiver, which double distilled, it's kind of like you do like distillation process with, you know, a spirit as well. You're gonna get all the impurities out. You're gonna get that. Sometimes the impurities are what make it great. Like there's a famous story about Guerlain would get vanilla that was rejected by other people because they wanted it to smell more dirty, like Shalimar. But in this, with the double distilled vetiver is very clean and very woody. It's super clean, and I feel like when you add it to those two, it helps balance out maybe the different characteristics of the two vetivers and brings them together to be a little bit more unified. You're going to do that in Vetiveroacetate, which is kind of the same thing. It's acetate, God, I hope I said that right. Kind of a material of using vetiver and distilling it down as well. And then we're kind of going to go down into the base. And so in the base, we're gonna have just a couple musks to round it out and kind of ground it, because some of that vetiver can be it needs a little bit of weight to it. So I just use ethylene brassylate, which is kind of a musk that goes really well with florals and really helps bring out their fruitiness. And also there's going to be Ambredalide, which is based on ambret seed. And this is gonna be kind of like, it's kind of fruity in its own way, but in more of like a savory kind of way. So it's kind of pulls out the fleshiness of the tuberose, but also some of the woodiness of the vetiver. And I think it's just a really great musk. I like it a lot. I love to use it whenever I can when I'm making something where I can, afford to. It's not the cheapest, but I think it really, really is the perfect addition in this. And then also there is going to be just to rewind a little bit. So I'm looking off my notes, and I did miss. I should go back to the tuberose accord as well, because I did forget to mention there were the spicy notes, methyl diantylis and eugenol, which is kind of a clovey note. And I think those are also essential to the tuberose accord and help ground it. It goes in with that creamy middle where you're gonna get, like, that's why I use the bicyclononolactone, because there is a spiciness to that as well, almost a cinnamony. So you're gonna get a lot of that spice, like caryophyllene beta as well. So it's, so I think that goes well. So you're gonna start at that top, fresh, minty, lemony top, and then it's gonna fade quickly into the fleshy, bubblegummy, kind of fruity tuberose. And that's going to kind of slide right into that vetiver. So you're going to get some of that, the top notes of the vetiver. Sometimes that's why often vetiver goes well with grapefruit, because of that type of kind of really freshness at the top that goes well with the tuberose. So you're going to go in and now slide down the woods and the fruity musks as well, and you're going to get that rich finish. It's just a very long lasting perfume, something that you're going to discover every time that you wear it. And I think it's something that is really best worn on skin because it changes. Like I run very hot, so I kind of get this especially pronounced. But I know that whenever I'm wearing the summer, you're gonna get a lot more of that top fresh note because it burns brighter, because whenever it interacts with your heat from your body, those top notes are gonna burn a lot brighter. But in the winter, I get a lot more of the vetiver and the fleshiness of the tuberose. However, it smells different on everybody's skin as well a little bit, I think. But I think it's one of those that I've smelled it on the strip and I love it on the strip, but whenever it's on skin is whenever it's really good. And I think that's my goal with perfumes anyways. They're meant to be worn. So I think that I just prefer a perfume that performs well. And I think that's the old school thing anyways. You want something that is interesting throughout the progression, keeps surprising you, is composed well, and just, every material is used with intention. And I think that was a very important thing in composing this, and something we did a good job of just like paring it down to what was essential to make this the perfect blend of the tuberose and vetiver. So the lottery is open now for American Perfumers, open through the end of the week, this Friday leading into Memorial Day weekend. Just send me a message or get in touch with American Perfumer, Dave at american-perfumer.com to get into the lottery. We have 50 bottles, so we want to make everybody have the even chance to get a bottle if you want to pick one up. We'll also be giving away a free bottle to everyone, one free bottle, not a free bottle to everyone, one free bottle, and everybody who enters into the lottery to get a bottle will have a chance to win a free bottle as well. So this is the second edition. I think it's really great. I think we got a great response last time, and I think that what was really cool is the longer people had it, the more they were into it. And I would hear from people throughout the years revisiting and saying, "Oh, I've been trying and I found this new thing," and that every wearing felt new to them. So definitely, I would recommend checking out this at go to American Perfumer, get in touch with Dave, get in touch with me, and the lottery ends this Friday, so time's running out. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon for a new Chateau Luxe release.